Hello and welcome. You're watching News 9 Live with me, Neha Khanna. While it's not uncommon for films to get mired in controversies, there is one particular film that has become the center of a major political war in Kerala. We're talking about the movie titled The Kerala Story. Ever since its trailer was released on the 26th of April, it has sparked a massive debate. Set to hit the theatres on the 5th of May and written and directed by Sudipto Sen, this film claims to have unearthed the events behind approximately 32,000 women allegedly going missing in Kerala. That is the claim the film makes. The filmmakers say it is a tale of how women from the southern Indian state of Kerala were tricked and trafficked to the Islamic State or ISIS in war-torn Syria. The film claims to have traced the journey of 4 female college students in Kerala who allegedly became a part of the Islamic State. Now here's what's most controversial in the Kerala story. The film claims to showcase certain cases of how so-called love jihad was used by ISIS to lure these 32,000 women to Syria. The trailer shows men being brainwashed to woo Hindu and Christian women of Kerala in the name of love, convert them to Islam, radicalize them and convince them to join ISIS and other Islamic war zones and participate in terror missions in India and abroad. The incidents portrayed are said to have occurred between 2018 and 2019 when a rising number of Kerala youth had allegedly come under the influence of ISIS. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has hit out at the filmmakers, accusing them of pushing the propaganda of the Sangh Parivar, of projecting Kerala as a centre of religious extremism. The Chief Minister has said the filmmakers raised the issue of so-called love jihad despite the concept having been rejected by the courts, probe agencies and even the Union Home Ministry. The Chief Minister went on to say that the movie trailer appears to be deliberately produced with the aim of creating communal polarization and spreading hate propaganda against the state of Kerala. He said the Sangh Parivar is trying to destroy religious harmony in Kerala by sowing the poisonous seeds of communalism, adding that propaganda films and targeting of the Muslim community in these films should be seen as attempts by Sangh forces to reap benefits of vote bank politics. Cinematic freedom, the Chief Minister argues, is not a license to spread lies in communalism and divide people in Kerala. Senior Congress leader in Thiruvananthapuram MP Shashi Tharoor too has weighed in on the controversy, saying, and I quote, "It may be your Kerala story, it is not our Kerala story." Kerala Congress has urged the state government not to give permission for the screening of this film, which they say is full of lies and paints the Muslim community in a bad light. The BJP too has waded into the debate. The party's IT cell chief Amit Malviya has said, and I quote, "The Kerala story, based on real-life stories, is shocking and disturbing. The movie portrays the rapid Islamization of Kerala and how innocent girls are being trapped and groomed to be cannon fodder for ISIS. Love jihad is real and dangerous. Recognize the threat," says Mr. Malviya. The question is there concrete evidence to back the claim that 32,000 women from Kerala indeed fell victim to the so-called love jihad and were subsequently radicalized and made to join ISIS? Or as the Kerala government says, is the film a tool of dangerous propaganda that could cause serious damage to Kerala's social fabric and result in communal polarization?
अगर फिल्म देखेंगे ना, ये सवाल नहीं करेंगे आप, क्योंकि 32,000 ये नंबर इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है। हाँ, हमने फिल्म ने बताया जरूर कि 32,000 क्या 32,000 से ज्यादा लड़की गायब हुई है। हमने ये नहीं बोला कि आईसीस पे चले गए, हमने बोला गायब हो गए, घर से चोर के चले गए। ये लड़कियां कहाँ है और कहाँ गया है, कब गया है, इसके लिए हमने एक आरटीआई भी फाइल किया था। हमें बोला गया था केरल पुलिस ने उसकी जवाब देंगे। हम आज भी वेट कर रहे हैं कि एग्जैक्ट नंबर क्या है, वो ढूंढने के लिए आज भी हम वेट कर रहे हैं। अगर आरटीआई है हमारे पास, अगर वो दे दे तो नंबर दे दूंगा। हमारी आंकड़ा क्या है और हमारी आंकड़े की सपोर्ट क्या है, वो मुझे लगता है वो फिल्म देखने के बाद ही आप लोग जाने तो अच्छा है। तब तो मुझे कहानी बोलना पड़ेगा आपको फिल्म की, जो मैं नहीं बोलना चाहता।
भारतीय से पहले इवन एक इंसान होने के नाते, एक लड़की होने के नाते, इट्स बहुत ही डरावनी कहानी है दैट गर्ल्स आर गोइंग मिसिंग. एंड और भी डरावना है कि लोग, आई डोंट नो, जो भी लोग इसे लाइक प्रोपेगेंडा कह रहे हैं या नंबर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, आई कांट बिलीव कि पहले हम लोग नंबर जस्टिफिकेशन दे रहे हैं और फिर हम लोग कह रहे हैं कि लड़कियां मिस हुई है. इंस्टेड ऑफ इट बीइंग द ऑपोजिट होना चाहिए कि हम लोग पहले डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि लड़कियां मिसिंग है and then you discuss the numbers. So but I think ये किरदार, I mean आप लोग फाइनली मूवी देखोगे तो I feel ये सब सवाल नहीं होंगे किसी के पास, नंबर डिस्कस नहीं होगा. दिस आई रियली स्ट्रांगली फील जब आप पूरी फिल्म देखोगे तो. एंड हाँ, मैंने जिया एंड आई मेट द विक्टिम्स ऑल्सो. आई मेट सम ऑफ दीज गर्ल्स एंड आई डोंट नो, मैं शब्दों में एक्चुअली बयान नहीं कर पाऊंगी, मैं जस्टिस नहीं कर पाऊंगी शब्दों में कि कैसे था एक्सपीरियंस. एक दो लाइन में अगर कहूँ तो आई वोंट बी एबल टू एक्सप्लेन, बट मूवी देख के आई थिंक यू गाइज विल बी एबल टू.
एक इंसान के नाते बहुत दुख वाली ये जो कहानी बहुत ही बड़ी ह्यूमन ट्रेजेडी है. तो जाहिर सी बात है कि जब मुझे ये पूरी कहानी के बारे में पता चला तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा शॉक था कि ऐसा कुछ हमारे देश में चल रहा है. और इसीलिए ये फिल्म बनाने का मैंने निर्णय उसी दिन ले लिया था. उसके बाद हमने बहुत सारी रिसर्च की. दादा ने तो ऑलरेडी बहुत सारी रिसर्च की हुई थी, हमने और एडिशनल रिसर्च की और उसके बाद स्क्रिप्ट लिख के बनाते बनाते 3 साल लग गए. लेकिन अब ये फिल्म रेडी है. जो मैं मेरा एक अपना जो इस पे कहना है, क्या हो रहा है कि ये 32,000 के आंकड़े के आसपास हम इस पूरे मामले की जो गहराई है उसमें उसको छोटा कर रहे हैं. आंकड़ा क्या फर्क पड़ता है, 32,000 नहीं होगा और 31,700 होगा तो क्या इसकी गंभीरता कम हो जाएगी? गंभीरता तो वही रहेगी. मैं तो कहता हूं कि क्या अगर 100 लड़कियां भी हों तो क्या ये गंभीरता कम है? ये बहुत गंभीर विषय है और इसलिए इसके बारे में बात करते वक्त हम इन लड़कियों के पेन की बात करें, हम इन लड़कियों के दुख की बात करें, उनके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है उसकी बात करें. आंकड़े जो हैं वो एक डिबेट का विषय, उसको छोड़ देते हैं, पर पहले इस विषय को तो पकड़ें जो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट, इतना गहरा और इतना बड़ा है.
The Chief Minister said that there is no love jihad. It only shows that the Chief Minister has not read Quran. Because there is specific remarks and aphorisms justifying love jihad in Quran. For example, the aphorism 221 of Surah 2, it prohibits that a Muslim should not marry a non-Muslim. A Muslim should not marry a non-Muslim. The marriage between a Muslim and non-Muslim is equated to adultery. The minimum punishment for adultery is death sentence. And if a Muslim wants to marry a non-Muslim, the provision that has been given in the Quran is that his or her first duty is to convert the non-Muslim to Islamic faith. And conversion of a non-Muslim to Islamic faith has been declared as a jihad. So wherever there is a marriage between the Muslim and non-Muslim, and if the Muslim boy or girl embraced Islam, that is part of jihad.
So in the name of Kerala story, Sangh Parivar manufactured a movie to blaming Kerala is a hub of terrorists. This is nothing but attacking the left-front government. This is actually BJP in 2019, and at the time of parliament elections, they created a scene in the name of Pulwama. Later it was proved that their own appointed governor, Sachpal Malik, now openly came to the fore four of the countries said that it is the great negligence of the government and the defense ministry. It was happened. Otherwise, 40 soldiers would not have been laid their lives.
All right. So, does the film highlight an important and sensitive social issue, or is it a mere propaganda tool? Let's debate this with our guests. Joining me on the show, Rajesh Pillai, senior journalist. Anand Kochukudi, political commentator, is also with us. We're also hoping to be joined in a moment by George Kalyavalil, senior journalist. Rajesh Pillai, of course, there is a full-blown political war that's brewing over this film, but let's, for a moment, focus on what the filmmakers are saying. We played out those sound bites a short while ago. The filmmakers say, let's not split hairs, let's not debate the figure of 32,000 too much, let's look at the larger picture. But the point is that if you are saying that this is a film that's based on reality, this is not a work of fiction, and you're presenting a staggering figure like 32,000, then isn't it incumbent on you, the filmmaker, to give the audience evidence that these 32,000 women actually went missing from Kerala? If you are saying that, thousands and thousands of Kerala women have fallen prey to so-called love jihad, then surely you've got to put out some evidence to back that claim. And then when you claim that thousands and thousands of these women were radicalized, indoctrinated and lured into joining ISIS in Syria and elsewhere, it's a very serious allegation and claim to make. Surely you've got to give us evidence to back these charges. What do you make of the controversy and the claims of the filmmakers?
Let me first of all tell you that I believe and I have strong reasons to believe that yes, there is radicalization in Kerala, and radicalization is not a Kerala story, it's a world story. You know that, everyone knows that. And saying that, let me also say that I have a problem with this number of 32,000. But please don't take, the focus should not be on that 32,000, that number. As the filmmakers were saying, even if there are only 100 youngsters, 100 young girls who were taken away, it's a human tragedy. It's a problem. From a place like Kerala, you are trapped into a love affair, and that man turns out to be a terrorist. You are taken to a faraway land where, it's totally different. Everything is different. The lifestyle, the climate, the surroundings, everything is different. And what would have been the trauma? And if you are asking me that this never happened and it was all a big lie, I don't agree with that. I am sure that there are no 32,000 women who were taken to Islamic State. There is a difference again. There is a conversion racket which was working overtime in Kerala till maybe the ban on PFI. There are hundreds of girls who were converted within Kerala. They may not have gone to Islamic State or Khorasan province or places like that, but there are girls who were converted, who were taught Islam, just to make the numbers or convince somebody outside. I don't know whether you remember, you are a journalist, so you may remember that there was a sting operation sometime back, maybe it was 2017 or something. There was a sting operation in which PFI people were saying that yes, we are running conversion rackets. There is even an institution called Satya Sarani in Kozhikode. What they do is conversion only. So yes, I have a difference of opinion regarding 32. That's it could be exaggerated. It is exaggerated. And let me also add that whatever the filmmakers say, this was I feel that it was a very brilliant marketing strategy. It's only because of this staggering claim that we are discussing this matter today. Because everyone is, bent upon disproving that No, there are
Okay,
no
okay,
32,000 people.
but Rajesh,
But
you
even
know,
if
in
there
all
are 32,
fairness, when you say, I mean, even though it's not really for the news anchor to express their opinion, and I'm not expressing my opinion on the larger debate, but I beg to differ with you on this one limited point where you say it's a brilliant marketing strategy for the filmmakers to have come out with a figure like 32,000, because now we are all talking about it, even if the figure is false and misleading, even if it is grossly exaggerated. I'm sorry, but in my opinion,
Yes, sir.
if it is not true,
I,
I would consider
I
it
thought-
irresponsible on part of the filmmakers who
thought-
are clearly saying this is not a work of fiction, this is based on reality. I, as a journalist, would consider it irresponsible, because remember, we live in this era of fake news and disinformation. Therefore, I do not think I will hail it as a brilliant marketing strategy. I will call it irresponsible, and I will call it scaremongering if that is true. Yes, very quickly, Rajesh.
Yeah. Of course. Maybe that word objective, brilliant, may be wrong from my side. I was talking from their side, you know. For them, they wanted to market the product, so everyone fell
Okay.
into that trap of 32,000.
Okay,
But
I mean,
what I mean to say is,
okay.
what I
You're
mean to
saying
say
let's
is that
focus
the
on the
issue is
issue,
real.
let's not bicker on the numbers.
The issue is real.
Okay,
The issue is real.
issue is real. You're
The issue
saying
is
let's
real.
focus on the issue. All right. And also, just to clarify, you said, do you think these are lies? It is not me saying it. It is the government, the Chief Minister of Kerala, and it's the Congress which is saying that this is nothing but full of lies and sunk propaganda. Okay, let me bring in Anand into the conversation. And of course, nobody here is playing down the dangers of radicalization. Radicalization happens in all parts of the world, as Rajesh pointed out. I'm sure it's happened in parts of India too. However, Anand, the larger debate here is not only about that figure of 32,000 which is being bandied about, which curiously enough the filmmakers themselves seem to be disowning now, saying, let's not get into the numbers. Maybe it wasn't 32,000, but even if the number is 100, how does it matter? I think it does matter, because if it's a grossly exaggerated figure, number one, then it amounts to scaremongering. Number two, the argument that's been made by people like the Chief Minister of Kerala is, you're linking all of this to so-called love jihad. That means, according to the Chief Minister, that this is nothing but targeting of Muslims, targeting of minority community, painting them in a poor light. He says the courts of this country have rejected that there is any such thing as love jihad. Probe agencies have rejected the concept of love jihad. The Union Home Ministry, the junior Home Minister of this country, stood up on the floor of Parliament and said, yes, there is no such thing as love jihad. But the film, its entire premise is this very controversial and deeply polarizing concept of love jihad. What do you make of this political war that we are witnessing over this film?
So what I think is that in Kerala, it doesn't matter whether the film releases and whether this number that they are showing as 32,000, which is grossly exaggerated, as many people do admit now. It doesn't matter, because people do know what happened. And if at all these things happen, some conversion happened and people joined ISIS. This was reported back in 2016 when 21 people from Kerala went and joined ISIS. And then that number rose to 22 in 2017. And later, when Pinarayi Vijayan, the Chief Minister, was asked in a press conference to come up with the exact figures of the number of people who have joined. It's not just women, but the number of Keralites, Malayalis, who have gone and joined ISIS. He quoted a number which was very close to 100, but between 90 and 100. So that was the total number of Malayalis as per the Kerala state figures. Now there is a central government figure which is 154. So these are the entire number of Indians who are supposed to have gone and joined ISIS. And these people, the director Sudipto Sen, he is saying that suppose the number is not 32 but 31. So that's quite funny, because if so many people go missing, then wouldn't it be known to somebody, the government or the law enforcement agencies, the court, everybody would know it.
And
But
Anand,
this is,
if I may just come in for a minute, not only is the filmmaker saying it, the figure may not be 32,000, let's not split hairs, let's not bicker over the number. He's saying even if it's 100, so what? Let's focus on the issue. Going from 32,000 to 100.
Yeah, it's just like, in some markets in Delhi, if you go and try to buy something, they would initially quote something and then the final price would be something very marginal. So from 32,000, it came down to 100. So that shows how propaganda can be, potently used. It's potent propaganda, just basic propaganda as a misinformation, disinformation weapon in this day and age. And this is being injected, this is being made in Hindi, in Tamil, Telugu, so many languages. So people, I'm not worried about Kerala as such, as somebody who lives in Kerala. I'm not worried about the reaction in Kerala. But people who can't distinguish between Karela and Kerala being bitter gourd or vegetable, they would rather believe that, okay, if 32,000 is the number, probably 3,000 would have gone. So that is the kind of, disinformation that the film aims at. And this is what they want to project Kerala as. For example, Yogi Adityanath recently made a statement saying Kerala is a safe haven for terrorists. Amit Shah made a statement in Union Home Minister Amit Shah made a statement when he was campaigning in Karnataka that, okay, if you don't vote for BJP and vote in a BJP government, then beware, you'd be like Kerala, you'd end up like Kerala. So these are the kind of things that that is prevailing outside Kerala. This kind of disinformation that's prevailing outside Kerala because of the BJP's their dominance over the media narrative and all kinds of narratives.
Okay.
What's the propaganda that's going on? So this film will add to that. So I'm worried about only that.
You worried about that? You're saying that yes, it definitely looks like a propaganda tool and a disinformation campaign that could eventually serve political interests, but is dangerous for our society and country, not just for Kerala. And I agree with you there. This is India we are talking about. George, come in here. The question that many critics of this movie who've seen the trailer and who are raising questions about what the film claims are saying is that, is it fair to paint an entire state in the colors of communalism? To say, you don't even know the real figures, and to say anywhere between 132,000 women of Kerala have gone missing in recent years, and then to link it to this deeply controversial political construct called love jihad, which from the courts to the Union Home Ministry have said does not exist, and then to extrapolate it further and say, all these women were lured into joining ISIS, they have joined terror missions in India and abroad. These are very sweeping, serious and dangerous claims to make if not backed by evidence. How can the filmmaker say, let's not bicker over the numbers, whether it's 32,000 or 100? Because at the end of the day, the concern being expressed is something like this can cause deep communal polarization in our country, and that can deeply hurt our social fabric.
First of all, I agree with you and my friend Mr. Anand Kochudi. What he said is right. There is a clear agenda for misinformation or disinformation, or to create a confusion among the people of India. But saying all this, like when Shashi Tharoor, he clarified after his first statement of this is not our story, this is not our story, this is your story. He clarified, and I fully agree with that. This freedom of expression does not cease to be valuable just because it can be misused. But Keralites have every right to say loud and clear that this is a misrepresentation of our reality. I am sure that this is a misrepresentation of the reality, no doubt about it. But saying all this, there is an issue. The issue on a larger scale is that, there are double standards. When it comes to terrorism or extremism, people are trying to put the reality under the carpet and trying to say nothing is happening. But the biggest branches of terrorism of PFI or anybody happens in Kerala. Never before. Even in my village, near my village, Wagaman became a terror camp, and so many people were arrested, including those who went to the ISIs. You know, as Anand said, Chief Minister clearly said in an interview earlier that there are 100 cases.
So then let me ask you a counter question. Okay, George, if I could please ask you a counter question, because my job is to play the devil's advocate. You are saying this is propaganda, but at the same time, you and Anand both concede that there have been cases where you know, people have been radicalized, including women. They have been lured into joining ISIS. Some of them have gone to Syria. The argument that people like Rajesh, who's on our panel, and the filmmakers are making is, stop bickering over the numbers. Let's focus on a very important and sensitive social issue. If we have the problem or challenge of radicalization, are we shying away from addressing it? That is the argument they are making. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, there is a little point in it. I fully agree with that also. You cannot shy away from reality. But that doesn't mean that you can bring in misinformation and spread venom or hatred among the communities in Kerala or anywhere in India. That cannot be accepted, because Kerala is famous for its secularism, famous for its communal harmony. People of all religion, they live together without any issues. But there are some elements, very few. Very few, I will again and again say, very few. But that should be taken out. That should not be hidden under carpet.
Okay, so I need to wrap up this discussion. So, Rajesh, I will give you the last word. I think everybody on the panel agrees that there have been at least a few cases of this nature that have been reported from Kerala. It is certainly a cause for concern. We should not brush it under the carpet. We should address it. But at the same time, they strongly disapprove, the other two panelists strongly disapprove of the film and its messaging, because they believe that not only is the claim highly exaggerated, the purpose of the film is to create religious disharmony and a communal divide in a country, like India, which cannot afford it. The Chief Minister has said Kerala is the land of secularism. They're trying to sow seeds of poison and communal hatred. It is the treatment of the subject, it is the messaging of the film that is being questioned by many.
See, I am not an advocate of the filmmakers, so they should clarify that and they should justify their stand. But what I am saying is that let us face the truth. Why brushing the whole thing under the carpet and saying that Kerala is a citadel of communal harmony and everything? There have been cases, there have been issues since 1992. 1992, Islamic Sevak Sangh by Abdul Nasser Madani was there. From there, NDF was there, PFI was there, then SIMI was there. All these organizations were there. There were communal rights also. So communal rights were there, bomb blasts were there. I can even give you all the details. Political killings, communal killings were there. So yes, Kerala is comparatively peaceful and we are all very proud of our state. But that doesn't mean that just to whitewash everything for political reason. Actually, people like politicians like CM Pinarayi Vijayan and Shashi Tharoor, whoever it is, they are all trying to put, they are all trapping the Muslim community into this. They are actually bringing in Muslim community. If for radicals, they should not be speaking, and they are saying that any attack on radicals, any criticism of radicals, how it can be against the Islam, the religion. It is
okay,
not.
I understand the distinction that you are drawing. I completely understand the distinction that you are drawing, Rajesh, because no matter which religion they belong to, at the end of the day, radical elements have to be dealt with firmly under the law. I think we can all be very clear about that radicalization, no matter which religion it happens in, needs to be dealt with very firmly. The law needs to come down on it like a ton of bricks. However, I think the larger question that is being asked is it fair to paint an entire state, in this case the southern Indian state of Kerala, as a communal state, one that has been radicalized, and two, even as we address the serious issue of radicalization, should we be raising the bogey of love jihad and linking the two directly? Is that where the messaging of the film is dangerous? Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens once the film releases. Of course, there are calls for the film to be banned, at least in Kerala. We'll have to wait and see what decision the government of Kerala takes. But I'd like to thank our entire panel for joining us on this show. It's a wrap. Thanks very much to the viewers for watching.